when I found my God-sized dream, when I discovered my purpose, right, my thought pattern about who I was changed. The story that I was telling myself, the reality that I began to live changed because my God-sized dream opened up my eyes to who I was and what my life was truly about. Welcome to the DreamDivers podcast. This is the coaching show that is designed to help people just like you, people who know in their hearts that they were made to do something bigger, more purposeful and legendary with their lives to impact the world. My name is Ira Davis, the Chief Dream Diver, and I am your dream development coach. And today I want to talk to you about God-sized dreams and purpose-driven entrepreneurship, right? I want to talk about what are those things and what do they mean when I say phrases like God-sized dreams and purpose-driven entrepreneurship. Listen, it's very simple. There's some things in life that stretch us just a little bit. And there's some things that we endeavor to do that we know that we can do on our own. I call those things goals and tasks. But a God-sized dream is something that is bigger than you. It's so big that it literally requires more than your expertise alone. It requires a dream team. It requires some supernatural help. And when it's finally accomplished, it will change communities, regions, nations, and possibly the world. A God-sized dream is not something that you accomplish in 1 or 2 years. It's something that requires a lifetime of focused and intentional preparation, dedication, and execution. Here's my definition of a God-sized dream, right? A God-sized dream is that larger than life thing that you know that you must do, become, or create in order to fulfill your purpose to impact lives. Now, let me be real. If you're listening, if you're watching, I got to be honest with you, right? We always talk about the positive sides of a God-sized dream. We talk about the sexy things, the things that keep us inspired. But let me talk to you about the not so sexy side of having a God-sized dream, right? A true God-sized dream will stretch you to your max capacity, to the point where you are uncomfortable and you are outside of your natural comfort zone, right? A true God-sized dream, it is going to test your marriage and all of your relationships. I'm talking about family, friends, partnerships, relationships. It's going to test all of your relationships. A true God-sized dream will cause you to lose countless hours of sleep. It will keep you up at night wondering, thinking, pondering, researching, working, and sometimes agonizing over next steps in what to do in the process, right? A true God-sized dream may even make you depressed at times because there's going to be a journey that you must go through in order to become the person, number one, that's worthy of holding this dream. Number two, the person that's worthy of diving for this dream, the person who is worthy of stewarding this precious God-sized dream. A true God-sized dream will give you anxiety at times. There was times when I've been on this journey where I've been so excited to be able to execute, so excited to be able to help people, but at the same time getting anxiety because the dream was bigger than me. I knew it was going to require more than I could possess as one person. So there are going to be some times where literally you are going to get anxiety because your dream is so big. A true God-sized dream will terrify you at times because there are going to be points where you're not going to know how to get from A to B and all the way to Z. You're not going to know how this fits before that fit. You're not going to know, right? And so sometimes that's going to cause some fear and some terror in your life. Right? A true God-sized dream is going to test your character. It's going to test your character. You're going to have to deal with some situations where the real you is going to be forced to come out, where you're going to have to level up your character so that your character doesn't cause you to abort the dream for your life, right? A true God-sized dream is going to put your faith to the test. Now, I'm going to park right there for just a second, right? We're not talking about pint-sized faith. We're talking about radical, ridiculous faith. A true God-sized dream is going to put your faith to the test and require you to muster up all the faith that you possibly could have. But on the flip side of a God-sized dream, Listen, on the flip side of a God-sized dream, there are some positive things that I want to talk to you about, right? That will keep you inspired to keep moving. A true God-sized dream will force you to become the person who you were always capable of becoming. I promise you, before I found my God-sized dream, before I found my dream, I was not this person. I was a completely different person. I talk to people all the time who see me now. They're like, yo, Davis, you have become a completely different guy in the last 5-6 years. And literally, when I look back over my life, what has changed in the last 5 or 6 years? The main thing that's changed is that I've discovered my purpose and I unlocked my God-sized dream. And that dream, that purpose has caused me to level up to become the person that I was always capable of becoming. And it's going to do the same for you, right? A true God-sized dream will change your thought pattern about life and about who you are. I remember growing up, looking around at everybody, wondering, why was everybody else great? Why did everybody else have it all together? And I didn't know where I fit. And I always felt like I was a triangle trying to fit in a square space, right? I always felt like there was something different about me, but it wasn't great different. It was just like weird, average, below average different, right? But when I found my God-sized dream, when I discovered my purpose, right, my thought pattern about who I was changed. The story that I was telling myself, the reality that I began to live changed because my God-sized dream opened up my eyes to who I was and what my life was truly about. I promise you, before I found my dream, before I found my purpose, it was as if I had blinders on and I could not see clearly. It was as if I was walking around life colorblind, right? But the day that I found my God-sized dream, the day that I really began to recognize what I was born to do, becoming, to create, to change lives, it was as if I could see clearly. A true God-sized dream makes you feel valuable to God, to yourself, to your family, and to the world, right? Some of you listening right now, know in you, like there's this feeling, you know in you that there's more in you, but right now what you're currently committed your life to, you don't feel valuable in that place that you're stuck in. And I was just like you. I was good at being a Marine. I was good at leading. I was good at leading Marines and leading other people, but I just knew in my heart that I was not contributing to society and to the world in the way that only I could do it, and only in the way that I was born to do. And so I didn't feel valuable to God. I didn't feel valuable to myself. I didn't feel valuable to my family. I was embarrassed, right? Because I knew in my heart of hearts that I was not doing what I was put here to do. But when I found my God-sized dream, y'all, when I found it, my value in my own eyes, in my own spirit, began to change. The value that I felt like I was bringing to the world and to my family began to change and to increase, right? A true God-sized dream will keep the fire in your heart and the fire that's in your spirit burning hot and bright for a lifetime. Like when you find your God-sized dream, you no longer need to be motivated. You will be inspired by your dream each and every day. Inspiration comes from the inside. That's why it's called inspiration. It comes from the inside. But when somebody has to motivate you, it's because you are in the wrong position. You are out of place doing the wrong things in your life. And so you have to be pushed. You have to be jump-started because there's no inspiration that exists because you're out of place and out of alignment. And so when you find your God-sized dream, you will be inspired from within so that you never need to be pushed from someone else. Now, listen, earlier, I gave you the definition of a God-sized dream. Now, listen, that's my definition. That's the DreamDivers definition. That's the definition that I want you to live by, right? A God-sized dream is that larger-than-life thing that you must do, become, or create in order to fulfill your purpose to impact lives. Now, listen, that leads us to kind of what I want to talk about next, which is what is purpose-driven entrepreneurship, right? What is purpose-driven entrepreneur? What does that mean? Well, here at the DreamDivers company, a purpose-driven entrepreneur is a person who turns their purpose into a business to impact and to inspire other people around the world, okay? A purpose-driven entrepreneur is a person who turns their purpose into a business to impact and to inspire other people around the world. Now, most people have this misconception that your purpose is supposed to be that thing that you do out of the kindness of your heart for free. Now, DreamDivers, I completely disagree. Right? I don't believe that you have to choose between your work or your purpose. I believe that your life's work should be your purpose. And for a few of you radical people who are listening right now, you are just like me. I believe that you have what it takes to create what I call a legendary purpose-driven business that brings true value and transformation to the marketplace that will allow you to both fulfill your purpose to impact lives while creating revenue, right? Transactions that will ultimately help you take care of yourself, those you love, and allowing you to effectively and efficiently continue to help the people around the world who need what you do the most. Now, here's the truth. You can only help people based on the level of resources and your ability to provide what they need, right? And to provide for yourself. So if you don't have a way to fund your purpose, your impact is going to be limited based on your resources. This is why purpose-driven entrepreneurship is so vital to your life and to the world for your God-sized dream. You no longer have to choose between your work and your purpose. You can combine the two and never dread having to go back to work again. You can, and here's the great thing, right? Once you step into purpose-driven entrepreneurship, right? Once you step into that role, you can make as much money as you need to, right? There's no cap, it's unlimited, right? Because people will be chasing you down because you provide an authentic, real transformation and a breakthrough that's going to change their lives. And so instead of focusing on the money, when you start focusing on the purpose, when you start focusing on the impact, right, the money will fly to you because your heart and your mind is in the right place, right? And people will beat your door down to do business with you because they need what only you can provide from the depths of your soul, from your heart, and from your spirit, right? So you never have to chase money again. I always say this. I say money stalks impact, right? Money stalks purpose. So when you are operating out of your purpose, you will never have to do another job, another task, another goal, or create another business that is for money's sake. Because if you do the work that is required to turn your purpose into a God-sized dream and that God-sized dream into a purpose-driven business, money will come find you if you execute appropriately, right? So listen, I have this friend of mine who we recently just had this conversation. We had a deep conversation, intimate conversation. I'm going to share a little bit with you, right? He's a security guard, right, at a shopping center. But prior to that, he had been strung out on drugs for 15, 20 years. What happened was he lost a family member years ago, and it caused him to turn down a wrong path and cause a downward spiral in his life of pain that pushed him into substance abuse. But since that time, probably for past 5 or 6 years, he's cleaned up his life, right? And he's reclaimed his role as the head of his house. But now as a security guard, though he's super thankful for his job, he has to deal with less than favorable conditions that frustrate him, because this is not what he was born to do, but it allows him to, kind of take care of the things that he needs to take care of. But as him and I were talking, right, a couple of weeks ago, and he explained to me that out of all the things that he's doing, the highlight of his day at work is when men who are still struggling with substance abuse, when they come by the shopping center and he gets the opportunity to pray with them, inspire them, right, with his story, and to kind of give them some advice about how, he was able to miraculously work his way out of the dark pit that he was in to be able to get his life back together. Now, you all know me, and those of you who don't, you'll get to know me. I like to ask the hard questions. So I looked at him right in his eyes and I said, that's a phenomenal story you just told me, but the real question is how does it make you feel when you can give and inspire and help people at the shopping center who have gone through what you've gone through? Right? And his eyes lit up and he got extremely excited. He began to tell me about how great he felt on the inside while he was inspiring those people for those quick, couple of minutes that he would have them in his presence. And then I asked them an even harder question. I said, how does it make you feel after you inspire that person and share your heart with them at the shopping center? How does it make you feel when they walk out of your bubble of inspiration and they walk back into the life that they just came from, back to what they were doing and have been doing? How does that make you feel to know that you were only able to touch them for a few minutes at a time, and now they have to go back into their reality? And so he paused. He paused for about 2 minutes, and I just looked at him. He paused, and he looked up in the sky looking for an answer, and then finally he said, I can't even answer that question because it breaks my heart. And I've never even thought about it. He said, I never even thought about the fact that once they leave me, they're actually walking right back to where they came from. And so what I said to him was, I said, do you realize that instead of dedicating your life to making money in any job that you can, you could actually, if you wanted to, dedicate your life to sharing your story at shelters, at recovery programs, at businesses and organizations, in schools. You could literally build a life using what you have learned to overcome and come through yourself. And you can literally use that to make a living and to help transform not only your life, but the lives of people who can only be inspired and impacted from your story, the way that you tell it and how you tell it and the things that you've been through. And so I use that story to show some of you who are listening and watching that if you are willing to do the work to discover what your purpose is and to really unlock what your God-sized dream is, you have the opportunity every day. If you want to, you have the opportunity every day, if you want to go out there and to turn your purpose into a purpose-driven business, so you never have to sell your soul for another dollar bill. So you never have to settle for a job and do your purpose on the side. Listen, if you love today's episode about what is a God-sized dream and what is purpose-driven entrepreneurship, I am challenging you, to join me on the next episode number 3, where we talk about what is purpose and why you must start with your what and not your why. Thank you so much for watching this podcast. I hope it inspired you. Now, I need a huge favor. I need you, no matter what platform you're on, I need you to find that subscribe button, that like button. Leave us a great rating and a positive review. All of your comments, all of your reviews help us continue to make great content just for you.